Nazem Kadri is gearing up to play his first game as a member of the Colorado Avalanche tonight.
Yeah.
And the Flames are in Colorado.
Yeah.
And we all know the Flames tried to acquire Kadri, and Kadri had them on his 10-team no-trade list, would have to waive for him to accept that deal.
Yep.
He decided to decline it. We know that because the deal didn't go down, and then like 3 days later he was in Colorado. So I guess he was speaking with the media, and he basically said that the reason he decided to turn down the trade to Calgary was because he didn't really believe the Maple Leafs were shopping him. And he thought if he turns...
But I don't understand. Hold on a sec here. After that comment you just made, once Calgary is calling you, or they're like, that is the definition of shopping.
I think the Leafs were calling teams.
Yes.
That's the definition of shopping.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like Calgary called them up and said, we'll give you Johnny Gaudreau, and the Leafs were like, whew, we weren't expecting to go down this road, but I guess. The Leafs clearly were calling every team in the league saying, make us an offer if you want this guy.
But they're probably, I mean, take a look at what they were targeting. If you work backwards from it, Tyson Barrie ended up being, once they worked it out, it was Barrie. They were probably targeting a defenseman on Calgary, and same type of situation. I don't know the name.
You can do the math.
Yeah, it would have been a TJ Brody type.
Yeah, somebody like that. But I don't know. But it's more, if it doesn't work out, okay, we shift. They probably identified 3 or 4 organizations with either a D on an expiring deal or with a year left on their deal after this to try and upgrade their D.
Another center clearly was going to have to be involved in the trade.
Dubas had identified what he needed back for Nazem Kadri. Now, was it a financials decision? Was it just to upgrade the back end? Was it 2 suspensions in back-to-back playoffs? I think there were...
I think all 3. I think you can check all 3.
I think you could check all 3, too. I don't think there's one clear-cut thing that they said, we're done with this guy. It was more, we need to shift this way if we're going to try and get to that next level. And
he got suspended the exact same. I know we've been down this road.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
And I love Nazem Kadri.
I think we all do.
I loved him as a Leaf. He's a guy that will be celebrated when he comes back.
You were the lead member of the fan club.
I loved him.
Yeah.
I loved him coming up. I loved the bite. They're going to miss his bite. They're going to miss. I like the attitude. I don't have a problem with. Now you can't be stupid like he was 2 years in a row. But they're going to miss him. They will miss him in the way he plays.
And Kerfoot's a fine player, but Kadri was miscast as a 3. He was a 2 playing in a 3 role. That's why he got 16, 17 goals. Kerfoot's more of a traditional 3 that can go up a little bit, but he looks real comfortable as a 3.
He'll just kind of fade into the lineup.
I almost feel like they felt that 4.5 was too rich for that spot. That spot was 3.5. Now, could they have, if you had guys on more value contracts with Nazem Kadri, if it was strictly a financial decision, could you technically look at Marner, Matthews, and Nylander's deals and go, we couldn't have shaved $300,000 off each of you? Because it's $1 million, really, the difference between Nazem Kadri and Kerfoot. But also Tyson Barrie came with Kerfoot. If it was Calgary, who knows what it was, but they were probably looking at multiple organizations. You keep hearing that. I think Vancouver was a place they were looking at too, because Vancouver, whether it was Tanev or Stetcher or somebody on the back end too. Tyson Barrie's a fantastic player. I think they made the right move.
I think they're happy with it, clearly.
Yeah.
They moved on. Kadri will be fine. He also said the market is very different. He'll miss Toronto, but the white noise that was up here, it's not normal, which I think is a pretty silly comment. Of course, Denver, Colorado isn't going to be the same as Toronto, Ontario. But is it louder here? Is it a bigger hockey market? Obviously. Is it quieter in Florida? Yeah. In Carolina? Yes. In Dallas? Yes. But is it loud in Chicago when the team's playing well? Boston? Yeah. There's 8 or 10 markets that are loud, 8 or 10 that are dead all the time, and then a middle ground where if you're playing well, it gets fired up. And if you're not, you just get lost.
But that was one of the things.
That's the league.
You're right. But that's one of the things that he was Nazem Kadri, the Leaf. There he's Nazem Kadri, the Avalanche
Just
player.
another guy.
Just another player.
Absolutely. It's McKinnon first,
He's
and
not
then
leading.
it's Landeskog.
They're not, he's not, his cat's not getting interviewed. There's, you're not talking about everything else. It's, if he plays well, he gets interviewed. If he doesn't, when you walk into the room, I remember even a guy like Jerome McGinley, who's a Hall of Famer, when he went to Colorado, he was like, man, it's a lot quieter here. He said they walk in the room, they look for Landeskog, they look for McKinnon. Yeah, maybe he said they would come to me, but it wasn't 50 microphones around you every day. It's a different landscape, but I think Nazem's just going to miss Nazem Kadri, the Leaf. And
He's going to miss being a Maple Leaf. He loved being a Maple Leaf and everything that went along with it.
Exactly. Like walking
It's a
down
great
the street,
lifestyle, man.
But walking down the street in Toronto, he gets recognized,
And he still
if he
will.
Walks, he will. But if he walks down Larimer Square in Denver,
Not even close.
nothing compared to what it is here. That's the difference in markets, and difference in in Denver, the Broncos are there. Then
It's a four-sport town.
Exactly.
Like there's the Nuggets are a big draw there.
Right.
Obviously the Rockies own the summer.
Right.
But yeah, it's a Broncos town.
Right.
Like he can't compete with
It's just-
Von Miller. He can't compete with.
It's different, and I think that's where he's going to have to adjust because he's just a really good hockey player there. He's not Nazem Kadri, born here, bred here, all of that. Like it's hey, you're an Avalanche player, and second center, good player, but you're the hockey player. That's it.
Right. Yep.
And it's probably going to be a big adjustment for him. And watching the Leafs being a real good team, that probably bites a little bit too. Although Colorado's going to be fine too.
Colorado will be good.
They're gonna
I
be a
think
very
it's
good
more.
team.
It's going to be more difficult for the guys that were in the building last night on Ottawa. Not so. It's really Connor Brown. Like Connor Brown, Ron Hainsey's a pro. He's been around forever. I think he enjoyed his time here,
What a
but he's like,
cop.
I'm going. See you later. Zaitsev wanted out, and Tyler Ennis was here for 1 year.
Yeah.
Played 50 games. He's been around the block. Connor Brown grew up a Leaf fan, grew up in Toronto, drafted by the team. Marley played here for 3
And
or
did
4
nothing
years.
wrong either.
Did nothing wrong. Got traded simply because of his contract.
Numbers, yeah.
And that would be difficult.
Yeah.
That would be difficult.